Let us now learn how to create a pie graph. But before we begin, let's take a look at how we measure circles. Here I have a circle with a straight line drawn from one point on the circle through the center to another point on the circle. If I use a protractor to measure this angle, it would equal 180 degrees. If I did the same and measured this angle, it would also equal 180 degrees. What does that tell me? It tells me that a complete circle measures 180 degrees plus 180 degrees, which equals 360 degrees. You need to remember this because we are going to use it a little later. The information that we will use to create the pie graph is our maximum temperatures for Monday to Friday. I have also added this time a total column, which is 123. I get 123 if I add all the maximum temperatures for each day. Now, before we create our pie graph, we will need to change the maximum temperatures for each day into degrees. This is how we do it. I'll use Monday to show you. The maximum temperature for Monday is 34 degrees. I divide that by the total, which equals 123, and I multiply that by 360, which we know equals a complete circle. That calculation gives me an answer of 99.51 degrees. If we round off 99.51 degrees to the nearest unit, we get 100 degrees. Let's do the same for Tuesday. The temperature for Tuesday is 24 degrees. Divide that by 123, multiply by 360, gives me 70.24 degrees. If I round that off to the nearest unit, I get 70 degrees. We do the same for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let us now take a look at our new table. Notice we have the days of the week, followed below that by our maximum temperatures. But now we have a third row, which is our degrees for each day. Monday is 100 degrees, Tuesday is 70 degrees, and so on. It is this row that we are going to use to create our pie graph. We start our pie graph by drawing a circle, and then once we have drawn the circle using a compass, we draw a line from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference, to any point on the circle. Now we are going to plot the graph for Monday, which is 100 degrees. Using our protractor, we then place the protractor so that the center of the protractor lies directly on the center of the circle, as seen in the diagram. We then measure 100 degrees from this point where you see 0 degrees to that point where you see 100 degrees. You remove your protractor and then draw a straight line from the center of the circle to the red point. The slice of the pie that you have just completed belongs to Monday. Let's complete the slice for Tuesday. Tuesday is equal to 70 degrees. Notice now how I place my protractor. Again, the center of the protractor lies directly on the center of the circle. Notice that the line that I've just drawn for Monday is now where my north point is. I measure 70 degrees from the 0 to the 70 degree mark, and I remove my protractor. I now draw a straight line from the center of the circle to that point. I've now completed the slice for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I measure 50 degrees from that point to 50. That is the slice for Wednesday. For Thursday, which measures 64 degrees, I measure from 0 to 64. It stands to reason then, class, that the last slice would belong to Friday and should then measure 76 degrees. Let's place our protractor to check if this is so. 0, 76. Perfect. Now, we have completed the pie graph. If you would like, and you have time, you may then shade your pie graph in color. We have now completed the pie graph, and I thank you for learning with me. Please do enjoy the rest of your day and keep practicing.